Hey YouTube, I said I was going to make a video about some of this pine and maple and stuff that I'm drying here in my greenhouse. Now it's not in the solar kiln, it's in my greenhouse. But the greenhouse is like a solar kiln in that it's open here. I'm getting a tremendous amount of heat in here. You're looking at 86 degrees, and the eaves up here are open along there. The ceiling at the peak is open. There's a ridge vent there, but it's still open, and it's open at this end. So a lot of the heat that rises is going out there, but the heat is also being circulated with this fan. I have this fan hitting, this fan is hitting the pile on an angle, and it's drying this wood. So here's what I want to show you about this moisture meter. Now, a couple months ago, when I framed out or formed out the, let me just back up here. When I formed out the concrete pad for my sawmill, getting a little tongue-tied here for my sawmill, I use these boards here. This is part of that. You can see there's that white on there, or that gray is from cement dust. Now these have been inside ever since. If you take and you check the humidity on this thing, or the moisture, you're seeing it's at 10.5%. Okay? 10.5%. Now, this shelving, for instance, has also been in here for, you know, ever since I built the greenhouse, which is about 2 years, and these boards are at 10%. So it's safe to assume that there's a certain amount of moisture inside this greenhouse. Now if we look here at the humidity there, it's around 57% humidity. So there is moisture in this room, but it's not so low that, and the heat's so high that it's going to completely destroy the wood by drying it out too quick. And if you look here, there's some nice boards in here that don't have any problems with cracking. Now just to check, this is a 2x12 here, and that has a reading of 12%, 11%. So a lot of this wood, as far as construction grade goes, is plenty good to do construction work. This is a board, I just kept hanging around with this board, 10% on this board. And some of them up here, like this is a maple 2x6. Let me just get a shot on this. You can see the moisture in that's around 15%. You gotta look at that sort of upside down, 15%. So this stuff has been in here, the stuff from the floor, I'd say up to about right here, which is about 4.5 feet of lumber, you know, that's stickered, has been in here for at least 2 months, maybe 3 months. June, July, August, September, it'll be 3 months, yeah. So it's drying rather nicely in the greenhouse here with no real air except for the warmed up air that's moving around. And you can see there's no cracks in all these boards that are here on the edges. Now, I have 2x4s on the bottom, and then I have all kinds of various lumber on the top. That's one of the reasons that I turned the fan on, to get the air to go through there, because the problem with this thing is the 2x4s that are stacked on the bottom are not allowing air to rush up through, because there's 1x12 on top of them that are covering the holes. So I have the air just blowing through from the front to the back. Now, if the moisture meter, they claim they're not very accurate, but we're not looking for a number. What we're looking for is comparison. So if we know that this 2x4 that made these shelves is 11%, and we come over here and we're checking boards and we know they're 11-12%, then that would be the moisture content from the atmosphere that's in this greenhouse here. Okay, so I mean, these things, like I say, when you're down to 10, 11%, that's construction grade. You can start using it, you can cut it, you can nail it, you can screw it, and it's all going to be fairly good, or good, you know, to be able to use that stuff for projects. Now when it comes to furniture, like say the stuff that you would use, red oak or whatever, you want that to be a little bit drier, because inside of the house, the moisture is somewhere around 9%. Is 12, 10%. So all of this lumber here has dried pretty nicely. Let me check the original stuff. So you're looking at 10% there, 9% for the 2x4s. So as far as I'm concerned, all of this stuff that's in here, there's probably, oh, I don't know, 600-800 board feet altogether laying in here. Is all good for construction work. So I need to build a deck, I need to do some other things, so I can use any of this for that reason. So I just wanted to show a comparison to what it's like over in the greenhouse, over in the kiln, compared to this stuff that's here. Now just keep in mind that this stuff that's here is, you know, 10-11% moisture content, has been in here for 3 months, because pine was the first thing I cut. So, you know, if you don't want to build a kiln, or maybe you want to do dual purpose, you could do like I did, which was to build a greenhouse with that polycarbonate and then keep part of it closed so that, you know, you can keep the heat in over there better and use that heat to dry the lumber that's over there. And that seems to work pretty well. Alright guys, so that's about as far as I'm going to go with this video today. I did say that I would do that with the, man, it's hot in here. I did say I would do that with the pine boards, and I just wanted to show that. It's a beautiful day in Pennsylvania today. Nice blue sky, some puffy clouds. I did get my truck back together, so it needs a catalytic converter. I ordered one. They didn't have it in stock. Looks like my screen is clogging up here. Yeah, they didn't have it in stock, so I have to wait for the converter for that truck. So anyway, over at my kiln, the kiln is running, and let's just go check the temperatures on this thing and see what that looks like. The temperature's supposed to be in the 70s today. Obviously it's up into the 80s, especially if you're in direct sun. You can see there's no moisture at all inside the kiln. The humidity is down. I don't know if you can see that, but it's around 35%. 38% is what I'm looking for, that's good. It's 82 outside. It's 104 degrees inside. No, it's 110, 11, 12, 114 degrees inside the kiln. So that stuff is drying nice. The kiln's doing its job. Got a little bit of shade now all of a sudden, but I had gotten questions about whether I like the kiln or not. I do. I like it very much, and I recommend that you build a kiln or something like my greenhouse until or before you start cutting lumber, because if you don't, you're going to be hurting when the lumber turns all into twisted boards that you can't use. Alright guys, I was cutting some stuff the other day for a neighbor. I didn't get a chance to clean up yet. I want to frame out my walls for my thing here, and I got to get the trusses built. So anyway, have a good one. I'll talk to you again later. Bye.